in Mullins, South Carolina. Normally, my sidekick is Mayor Bo McMillan, who couldn't be here with us today, but in his place, we have another mayor here with us, Miss Barbara Hopkins from the town of Sellers, and we are going to be sharing some great and exciting news for that area, and we hope you'll stay tuned.
You're watching Hometown TV, Channel 8.
And we're back. As I said before, this is the mayor of Sellers, Miss Barbara Hopkins. Miss Mayor, how long have you been the mayor of the city or town? Is it a town or a city? The town of Sellers. Tell us a little bit about that.
I've been mayor since 2010. 2010, I was elected and still there.
All right. Tell us a little bit about the exciting event that you have coming up.
Okay. We have the Raccoon Festival coming up, and it'll be coming up on October the 19th. It will start at 10 in the morning and last at 8 in the afternoon. It's one of our annual events that will be taking place. First time if God holds the weather back for us. We had missed for the last 2 years, but now the weather's good and we're going to try it again. And it's something that you really would enjoy.
Tell us, how did this come about? How did y'all come up with this idea?
Well, one day I was just sitting in the office and I wanted to do something to bring the people back together and have something exciting to say. And no one ever had a raccoon. They had the fox, but not the raccoon. So I thought of the raccoon, and I said, well, I got to give it a name. So I named it Timmy the Raccoon. And we got the original raccoon t-shirts this year, and that's going to be very exciting. That's going to be on sale, and we're going to have plenty of vendors, games, and we're going to have some spiritual excitement for the Christians. We got some for all occasions.
All right. So you said you'll start around 10.
Yes.
And will you kick off with a parade, or how are you going to give me a rundown of the events, kind of the schedule?
Okay, we're going to start with the parade. The parade starts at 10 o'clock, and this year we have for our head person leading us also M.T. McHines. He'll be leading the parade into the town of Sellers.
And tell those of us that may not be familiar with him who that is. Tell us.
He was a congressman one time,
right?
And now he's have a church over here called St. Paul Baptist Church,
one of the oldest churches and buildings in the city of Mullins.
Correct. And he's going to be the one that's going to be riding us into the parade. We have a marching band, which is Marion High School, and we have Timmy the Raccoon is going to be there. You can meet him in person.
Really?
Yes.
So you will have a live mascot there?
Yes.
All right.
With his children.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the little kids will be there.
Oh, that is amazing. And then I know you said you'll have vendors and all set up. What types of vendors will you have? Will there be crafts or just food, or how is that going to work?
It will be both craft food, and also it's going to be some vendors there that's giving out some information about the care and the health.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, if we wanted to attend the Raccoon Festival, how do we get to where it's going to be? Is it just right in the center of town, or
it's in the center of town? We're gonna start at the old schoolhouse, which used to be there in Sellers many years ago, and we're gonna start from that ballpark all the way around on Main Street until the town hall.
All right. Well, it sounds like a fun-filled day that'll have lots of festivities. Yes. And you're right. I don't think I've ever heard of a Raccoon Festival, so that was a great, unique idea.
Yes, thank you.
And it's for all ages.
All ages.
From 0 to 100.
Yes.
And we would love for everybody to go out and enjoy a day in the town of Sellers.
You'll be welcome.
All right. And we are going to take a small break, and we'll be right back.
ARS Marketing offers branded promotional products, embroidered caps and shirts, screen-printed tote and drawstring bags, coolers, chairs, umbrellas, sunglasses, cups, water bottles, coffee mugs, tool sets, keychains, flashlights, portfolios, desk items, and thousands more. Your quote on all of these is free. Call ARS Marketing 843-774-0186 or visit us online, arsmarketing.com.
And we are back. We are here today with Mayor Barbara Hopkins, and we are discussing all things about the town of Sellers. It is such a unique and cohesive little community in Marion County with some good people that have been there for a long time. Families, just generations and generations. But in recent years, with Hurricane Florence in 2016, Matthew in 2016, and Florence came along after that, y'all had some devastating times in your town. You want to tell us a little bit about where you were and where you are today and how those storms affected your community and your businesses and everything?
Yes. Well, when Matthew came in 2016, that was very devastating. A lot of people lost their homes, and we lost some lives because of that storm. We had 2 people that died the day of the storm, trying to get them out of the homes. But it was so devastating that people had moved out of the homes and had to move into a church in Sellers. We stayed there for 2 weeks in the town because we didn't have any lights or anything, but we made it. And after Matthew came, there was Hurricane Florence came the next year, and that just wrecked the whole town again. But I know that somehow, some way, we made it through prayer and grace and mercy, and people giving what they gave to the people, and having the community come together and pray. That helped, really kept all of us with hope. If you have a little bit of hope, I think in people's lives, to show them that someone do care, and people do care out there about the town of Sellers. We had so many people came through Sellers trying to do things. FEMA came in, and also Red Cross came in to help the people. In the midst of that storm, I remember one day devastating that happened to me is that I was on one side of the street helping people get out of the homes to get to a safe haven. And my house burnt down. I lost everything I had. But I couldn't stop because I know there was someone else out there needed me more. It did hurt me, yes. But through that, it made me stronger with God. And by saying that is that I know that everything that we own here on earth is not ours. It's what we can do for each other. What makes us different in the sight of God.
That is an awesome, inspirational story, and I'm glad that you shared that with us. As far as your community as a whole, have most people been able to rebuild yet, or are they still in the process, or have you seen them have to relocate?
Some of them have relocated, and some are rebuilding, trying to rebuild. But with all the guidelines and the rules that's taken over now with FEMA, some of them still can't go back in the home. We have one 91-year-old lady that's in the community, been gone since 2015, staying with her children or someone in the community, and she hasn't returned home yet. And that's one of the stories that I share because of the age, and she still have hope and been encouraging other people as well. I know that there's working around the clock doing different things. We had the governor come, and we had the congressman come, and the senator. All of them came to Sellers. And you know, the question that still remains is what kind of help is Sellers going to really get? It's a flood zone area, the whole town, except across the track. And it's something that they just shake their head because they can't answer that question. Will Sellers rebuild again? I hope so. Will things change for Sellers? I pray that it does. But also, I'm also praying that everyone can come back home. I did challenge Bishop Blue, and I did tell him that if one church would just donate to one home for Christmas, to try to let somebody come home for Christmas, that would be a miracle. And miracles do happen.
That is wonderful. Now, do y'all still have any types of accounts set up that accept donations or anything like that for families in your town?
Yes, we do. We have a disaster account set up. I think what's left in that account now is $500. We had $5,000 at one time, but each person came and they got maybe a floor fix, a door, some windows after the storm. And we gave that to the people in the community by trying to help them and try to restore some hope with them. And if FEMA come in with this extra money that's coming in with mitigation, some homes can be fixed in the community.
What's the timeline for that, do you think, the release of those funds?
I don't have no idea.
And then that's still, you're probably looking at another year to rebuild once you get those funds. So this storm was, 3 years ago? Mm-hmm. And we are still trying to receive the funding and get your people back into their homes.
Exactly.
So it is a long process, and it's got to be very taxing on your community.
It is. It is not a day don't go by that someone will call, have you heard anything? Is FEMA going to do anything? What they said about sellers. And I'm constantly in meetings, and that's the first thing I ask, what about sellers? What are you going to do for the town sellers?
And, with storms, you never know if they're going to be fizzle out before they get here, or if they're actually going to do the types of devastation that we've seen in your community.
Yes.
But this is a good time to remind people, because didn't you have some situations where it could have been a family home that was passed down from generation to generation to generation, but there was no paperwork or no paper trail. So it would be the time to try to, how would you go about if you were living in a home and you didn't have that paperwork? Where would you tell somebody to start now so that they can put that with their hurricane preparedness thing?
Yes, that's a very important question, because in the community where I stay are older homes, and they are passed down to generation to the children, and the children do not have no paperwork, but they pay the taxes on their home. If they are deceased, they need some help in getting a death certificate, or either going to the funeral home where they know their ancestors was buried there. I think if they get that document to show that no one owned the home but them now, that's the kind of help they would have to get.
So that's things that we need to keep on our list to get done, just in case something like this were to happen.
Yes.
So always be prepared. What, from your experience and seeing what your community has been through, what's one of your top things that you would tell somebody that may be facing a hurricane coming through?
I would say get your paperwork together, because you have to get that paperwork. If there's no documentation and the people are dead and deceased and you have no one else to contact, and the funeral home don't even have records of it, you still have to get some kind of documentation done. And I thank God for the disaster recovery, because they had an attorney there trying to assist people with that. And assisting people with that, you still don't know who to go to. You pay taxes on it for years, and then you think it's your property, but if something happened, it's not your property.
Right.
I would say now's the time to get your paperwork together and get it in order, for if it happened to you, you will know what to do.
And along with that, that's your Social Security cards, your health insurance cards, Medicare, Medicaid, all types of insurance policies, your current, because I'm sure that, that was a lot of painstaking suffering for some people in your community.
It was.
Trying to figure out where all of that was.
And one thing about that too, be careful of the insurance people that you get insurance from, because I found out with these storms, what's so devastating, you will think you have insurance on your personal items and everything, but it's the way it's worded that people don't quite understand, especially the elderly people. If it's worded like you covering your personal items, but it got to be because of a fire, not because of a storm. And people are lost out on that. So I tell people, when you take out insurance, be very careful, read the little fine print, because if you don't, this will happen to you. So people don't have anything to do. They had this little insurance and they thought it covered them. So many people in the community, and they don't have nothing. until people come out and give them stuff.
Right.
So that's one of the things people need to make sure. If you take out insurance on your home and your items, make sure you know what you're taking out insurance on.
That you have your personal property covered.
That's right.
All right, we're going to take a small break, and we will see you back in just a few minutes.
For more than 80 years, Anderson Brothers Bank has not changed our name, the way we do business, or our philosophy. Our business has always been looking out for your best interest.
Welcome back. I want to thank the Mayor of Sellers, Miss Barbara Hopkins, for being with me today. And you are so welcome. But now we're going to talk about the upcoming holiday events. Do y'all have anything going on in Sellers for the holidays?
Of course, we have a health fair going to be going on October the 26th, and it's going to be at the Library and Resource Center. And we ask everybody to come and attend because it's for your health, and it's free. You don't have to pay anything. Just come and check yourself out, blood pressure, your sugar, your weight, anything you want to talk about. You are welcome to come.
Wow, that sounds like a. And from what time to what time?
It starts at 9 in the morning and it's gonna last to 5 in the afternoon.
And tell me that date one more time.
That date's October the 26th.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, and we are just coming off of a weekend full of an event that we did for the City of Mullins, and the Mullins Activation Committee and the Mullins Chamber went together, and we held a Mullins Hometown Hootenanny this past Saturday night, and we raised money for to fund projects such as facade grants and like painting and beautification for our local businesses. So I want to thank all of our sponsors for that event and everyone who attended. We had such a good time, and it was for such a good cause, and so thank you. And then going on into this month, we have our annual fall walk for our little ghosts and goblins and our smallest citizens in the town, in the City of Mullins. We have invited the Academy of Early Learning and all of our local daycares to come down to Main Street, meet us across from the library at the green space at 9 a.m. And we will go down Main Street, and all the little kids can visit with our local merchants and businesses and get little treats that morning.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then our Halloween night, we will have our regular trick-or-treating from 6 to 8. Do y'all have hours?
Yes, we do. Ours will be from 6 to 7.
Okay. Yes. So hit Sellers from 6 to 7, and you can come to Mullins till 8.
You're welcome.
And then we've got, did you realize Christmas is like 77 days away?
Yes.
77 days.
Yes.
That's not a lot of time. So we are getting ready for all of our holiday events. We here in Mullins have planned to have a breakfast with Santa.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, and then we'll have our parade and tree lighting all on December 7th. So mark your calendars. It's going to be a fun day of great activities. Our Christmas committee here at the Chamber is working to get all the little details fine-tuned, and then we will be releasing all that information.
That's good.
And you'll be able to find that either on our website or our Facebook page. It's at Mullins Chamber or mullinschamber.com. You can check back with us. Maybe in the next few weeks, we'll have all of that information. Let's see. And then, December 12th, we are set to have our second Mullins downtown late night shopping, sip and shop is basically what it is. And all of our favorite local merchants will be open with later hours for the evening, and we invite the whole community, the whole county, to come and shop in downtown Mullins and pick up everything you need to check off all those gifts you have written down on your shopping list. Our merchants, last year we had such a good time. We had Frosty the Snowman was here walking up and down Main Street, and we had music playing, and all of our merchants were so excited to see everybody come out and just have a good time and be merry and socialize and just, celebrate the season and celebrate all of our wonderful local businesses. these they put in so many long hours and do so much to keep our main street up and alive and growing. They are always looking to just be there to help you with anything you need, and we always try to encourage everyone, please think local first. You may not think you can find it, but if you come and go in the hardware store or the clothing stores, you could possibly find exactly what you're looking for. You don't have to go outside of our county for that. Stay here, keep our money local, and support our communities, our towns, our cities, and our business owners. That's what keeps us healthy and striving, and keeps our community at its best, is when we support each other and come together as a whole to do that. So with that said, did you have any final thoughts or anything you may have thought of that you want to throw in at the last minute before we head out?
Just want to say, America, come to Sellers. Come to the Tyler Sellers and see the raccoon.
Timmy the raccoon.
Timmy the raccoon. And you can also enjoy some raccoon. We got 7 different cook-offs with the raccoons. So come and enjoy some.
Oh, it's a cook-off for, okay. Oh, wow. It just keeps getting better and better. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. And Mayor McMillan told me to send his well wishes, and he will see you on our next installment.